Hello, it is Krystalracquel and I am back again with another video today. Today is day 13 of our 21 days of change, and I am here with another video for today. I do have a special topic, but first I wanted to say, if you enjoy my videos, let me know down below, or if there's any topics that come to mind that you'd like me to discuss. Also let me know. You can let me know down below in the comments, or you can also reach out to me via the email that I have in my description. So I have a topic for today. I'm not gonna go long. The topic for today is going to be related to people evaluating the type of people that they're interested in for dating and making changes to be able to stop those patterns. So in particular, I'd like to talk about ladies who gravitate towards men who are either abusers in terms of physical, verbal, or men who have really bad tempers. We have to be really careful about those things, and I'm going to first state a lot of that attraction, it might be maybe based on that woman growing up with a father that was that way, or perhaps there was no father in her home and she doesn't really know what is a good example of a man for a partner, or maybe there were different men in terms of stepfathers or boyfriends of her mother that she witnessed. So my point is, ladies, if you're noticing that you're gravitating towards men who are bad boys, or men who have bad tempers, or men who do things that are physically abusive or verbally abusive, what you want to do is make sure you start really monitoring the type of things that attract you. If you are noticing that you're being attracted, that you are attracted to those types of negative behaviors, you need to do something about it. You are capable of making a change. You have to analyze, is this man someone who I would want to be the father of my child or children? And if the answer is no, then that shouldn't be somebody you're attracted to. And people might say, hey, well, you know, you're attracted to what you're attracted to. I would say no, because some of those things have been shaped inside of you. Some of those things are from either, I would say, from nature or nurture. In this case, I would say it's from nurture. It's from your environment. It's from what you've been exposed to or maybe not exposed to. So ladies, if you find that you are attracted to someone who is harming you, or maybe you have been in relationships with men who have harmed you, you have to start looking at how that is happening. If you are entering into these bad relationships, you can't place the blame on the other person all the time. We have to also recognize, okay, how did I get in that situation? Did someone come up to me and force me to be in a relationship with them? Okay, if that is your case, obviously that's a different scenario. But for the most part, there were probably a lot of things that that man displayed that indicated that he had a bad temper, that he wouldn't be a good fit, that he has a tendency to mistreat ladies. And if that's the case, looking back and you recognize that, what are you going to do to make some changes? So I'm not saying that that means that, you know, no, you can't date anyone anymore. What I'm just looking at my husband through the door as he comes in. So does that mean you can't date anymore? No, that doesn't mean that. What it does mean, you have to recognize and start looking at those patterns and how can you change them. So no, you should not be dating somebody who hurts you. You shouldn't be dating somebody who yells at you, and you need to cut those things right as it happens. So you don't want to date somebody like that, because that's not going to be someone who's going to be a good partner for you. That's not going to be a good father to your children. So if you notice that you're making a lot of mistakes and choosing people who are wrong, then what you're going to have to do is make some change. So making change, that could be going and talking to somebody. Maybe there's an older relative or an older person in your church, if you go to church, who, you know, encourages people to to come talk to them about their different issues. Or maybe there's some form of counseling or therapy you can go to. Maybe there's a coach who deals with issues that have to do with dysfunctional upbringings or dysfunctional relationships. Maybe there's somebody you can talk to. But you can't just continue to go through life picking men who, you know, are hitting you or doing things to you or yelling at you and, you know, continuing to be those type of relationships, because it's not about trying to find someone who's a bad boy, because as we just discussed, that bad boy is not going to be a good father to your children. He will not be able to treat your children well. And, you know, we want to just nip those things in the bud, you know. So, you know, there's no reason why we should be attracted to those things. And no, we can't say, well, you know, I'm just attracted to what I'm attracted to. No, let's analyze that. Why are you attracted to that type of person, and how do we change that? Because if we look at what a bad boy is, and, you know, not even just limited to the ones who are mistreating ladies, bad boys, they also do bad things. Let's analyze that. Why would you like someone who does bad things? Why would you like someone who is in the streets? Why would you like someone who mistreats ladies or dates multiple ladies at the same time? Tell me, what about that danger would make you want to be with someone like that for a relationship, for a marriage, or for a husband? Okay, so it's not all about what we're attracted to. It's also about what we witnessed growing up and how we can change some of those patterns. So if this resonates with you, don't think that, you know, it's a lost cause. You know, you're going to continue to select individuals who aren't a good fit for you. No, you can make a change. All you have to do is just be conscious of what you're doing. Think about how you can change those patterns and what steps you need to take moving forward. So keep that in mind. It's never too late to make a change. You have an opportunity to make a change. All you have to do is just take a step at a time. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. And if you are finding that, you know, you're in a negative space, talk to somebody who is a friend. Talk to somebody who can potentially help you get out of that situation. But you also have to be ready to make a change. So, you know, it's not all about what you're naturally attracted to. It's also about what you've witnessed growing up and different scenarios that you've been exposed to. And all you have to do is just recognize that there is an issue and, you know, make changes moving forward. Sit down with yourself, look at how you look at relationships, what dynamics you've seen growing up, and how you can change that cycle. You know, if you notice that in your past, your mother, you dated men who mistreated her and that she accepted it, then you notice that maybe you're in that same pattern. You have to look at yourself and say, that wasn't good. Maybe subconsciously I think that that's okay, but I know that's not okay. What can I do to change that situation? Or if you notice that, you know, maybe your mom was never married, and maybe she had a lot of different relationships as you grew up, and maybe she has a lot of children, or maybe she has a few children, and, you know, but she was never married, or she had a few different men who ended up being the father of her children. You can look at those situations and think to yourself, okay, that's not what I want for myself. You know, was it right what those men did? How those men didn't stick around and fulfill their responsibility as a father, as a husband. However, what do I have to do to not get in that situation myself? Okay, I can put the blame on the man completely. However, a relationship takes two. So who you end up in a relationship with, it also depends on what you allow or what you choose. So for whatever reason, my mother, she chose this person, and, you know, maybe she didn't have the resources to know that those men were not a good fit. So what can I do? What can I change in myself to make sure that I don't get with those men, those types of men? Or maybe she was in a situation where the men were okay, but she and maybe the man didn't know how to maintain a relationship. Okay, what resources do I need to make sure that I can maintain a relationship, that I can have a successful relationship and also have a marriage? So look at ourselves first, and then recognize that if you are attracted to someone that you know deep in your heart is not good, if you know being attracted to a bad boy is not good, then you really need to start thinking, how can you make changes? What patterns do you need to break? And you know, I know probably all of us say, well, at least me, I know when I was wanting to be married, I would always say, Lord, please, I don't want somebody who's boring. So I think saying things like that is fine, but recognizing that there is going to be stability, making sure that you don't think stability is boring, because stability is not boring. And, you know, life is not always going to be so exciting. But it's okay if you don't want to be with somebody who's boring, because that's something I've been praying for since I was younger. Lord, please, please, whoever I'm with, I want them to love God, but please, I don't want somebody who's boring. So keep those things in mind too. It is okay to have certain preferences, but understanding, you know, there's a lot of men that say, yeah, I'm a good guy, but it's like the ladies are always running to these bad guys, okay? So don't be one of those ladies who are seeking men who are bad for you, men who are bad fit, men who are gonna run away, who won't, you know, take care of their responsibilities, which is you or their children. So always keep those things in mind, and we really have to try to make changes. You know, we can't go through life and just assume all of our experiences were good, so everything that we've been exposed to is fine. And you know, because my mom was never married, I think that's fine. I should be a single mother as well. We have to break those cycles. We have to start choosing good relationships, because who we're choosing is going to be the father to our kids. So if you have any questions, list them down below. If you like this topic, give me a thumbs up. And if there's any topics that you would like me to discuss, please let me know. Have a wonderful day. Bye.